How are you, bro?
I'm doing all right, man. How have you been?
Good. I've been following your Pinewood Derby antics pretty closely, and I'm liking the waiting. My favorite thing about Pinewood Derby is just sneaking in more weight than you're really allowed to. It's just like racing at its core.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a friend of mine runs that pack. And so he invited me there to do a couple announcements and to hang out. He thought it would be funny. And it was. It was actually a lot of fun. I walked in there. I had my hype music. I walked in there and I said, "Hey, scouts, get ready to earn your loser badges. Because if you ain't first, you're last." No, it was actually, I haven't, I was a Cub Scout when I was like 8. That was like the last time I did anything like this. I took my block of wood up to a friend's wood shop up in Fitchburg. And I was like, I need help with this. And he was just laughing. He's like, okay, we can get this done, man.
I wish I should have gotten into that instead of buying real cars and trying to fix them. I was like, this is a much cheaper hobby than trying to buy Mustang parts on Facebook all the time.
I think that, you know what? But I think Pinewood Derby more emotionally damaging when you lose.
That's definitely true. And they're both just for divorced dads with drinking problems anyway. You know what I mean? So you just get.
Funny you mentioned that. So, of course, I went to YouTube when they sent me my kit, and I was watching videos on tips on how to build the car because I haven't done it since I was a kid. And after the third video, I started to notice there are no children in any of these videos. They are exactly who you just described.
Yeah, it's usually the drinking is usually in the past. It's like, okay, hey, I don't have the wife and kid anymore from the drinking, but now I'm sober and 100% focused on Pinewood Derby. I'm going to win them back. First, I'm going to win the Pinewood Derby championship, and then I'm going to win my family back.
That's right. Yeah, I'm going to get that first place medal, and I'll show everybody. Yeah. I was really surprised to learn from one of the videos, I think it was a guy from Oklahoma, that he was part of an adult league who get together every month and do Pinewood Derby races. Full grown, not affiliated with the Scouts at all.
Yeah. In fact, fully banned from going near Boy Scouts today.
And that's another thing that surprised me the most. They don't do, apparently, with the Brookfield Cub Scouts, they don't do any Corey checks. I was able to breeze right into that elementary school and, hit the potluck dessert buffet. So
put that one in your back pocket for another day.
That's right, man. You laugh. I did get second place for the friends and family category. Okay, so.
Hey, all right. Who got first? Some ringer. It was like Ernie Bach.
It was Ernie Bach. Yes. I paid $75,000 for my Pinewood. Had it designed in Switzerland.
Yeah, it's like Bon Jovi signed it just to make it a little faster.
It's made out of part of Jimi Hendrix's guitar that he smashed at Monterey. Oh, my God. This interview is going awesome, by the way. I love it so far. This is great. Will Noonan, the world's greatest comedian to come out of Boston. Bill Burr, Stephen Wright, amateurs. Will Noonan is the man who gave them their big start, and he's going to be at Samuel Slaters Restaurant coming up here on March, 15th. While going into St. Patrick's Day weekend with a show out in Webster with Dan Bulger, who I've seen before. He's hilarious. And Dan Donahue, who has one of the most impressive beards I've ever seen, if it is real.
That's what I request. You need something to lay your head in before you go on stage. You know what I mean? I like to just sort of get my.
Ew.
Yeah.
Well,
I like to pretend I'm a kangaroo, and Dan's mouth is a kangaroo's pouch, and I just kind of get near it. I just like the smell of it. It makes me feel safe.
I believe there is a Pornhub channel for that.
There sure is.
Yeah.
And one day we'll get verified.
Hey, listen. So Will and I were emailing back and forth, and Will said I can do it on this day, and he sent me a link to his website, and that's Will. It's pretty basic, willnoonan.com, right?
Oh yeah.
So I click on the link, and here at work, and I get a huge warning page that says. Cumulus Broadcasting has blocked you from accessing this website due to dangerous content.
Yep, that's right. I've.
What do you got going on over there?
The joke is oh yeah, I'm doing really serious, like, I'm doing edgy comedy on my website. The truth is, I've just been hacked by like Japanese bootleggers for the past like year and a half, and I just can't get it back.
Oh,
Like,
so is it like nothing but octopus porn?
no, it's like literally ads for jeans. Like that's what you get if you. And honestly, if they just gave me a little taste, I would stop trying to get it taken down. Like just wet my beak a little bit, give me some of that sweet Japanese jean money.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. But it's also kind of funny because it kind of lets you know that like no one really goes to comedian websites.
Right.
Like only
Right.
people that I'm working with in this respect. Like I've never had anyone come up to me and be like, well, actually, one guy came up to me after a show. He's like, I tried to get tickets for the show on your website, couldn't get them. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And he's like, dude, don't even worry about it. Like, I got 5 pairs of awesome jeans,
I got some
Just
rare
1,000
bell bottoms.
for 1,000 yen, which is like amazing. I mean, that's like, it's incredible. So I'm helping people.
You should turn this into a lucrative Japanese tour, Will.
I'm trying. What's crazy though, in Japan, if you go to my website,
It's
it's just a Pinewood Derby fan page. So I'm trying to figure this
right.
out. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it sounds like you got hacked. I'm sorry about that.
I got hacked pretty bad. And, it's I'm just leaving it there. It's like I feel bad for all the comedy fans showing up at Japanese stores in Japan just to buy jeans.
Do you have the Will Noonan jeans? The ones with no ass.
Yeah, the assless chaps. And, if they become big in Japan, there's no stopping them.
I got to ask, last we haven't talked in a long time, and I apologize for that. I didn't send a Christmas card this year because I'm a lazy bastard.
Glad you addressed it.
I just want to get it out in the open. Are you still California sober?
No, I mean, yes, in addition to being Boston sober now, which is like, once in a while I'll have a few IPAs and some weed, and then I'll just drive like, a little slower than I normally would.
Right. You forgot the Adderall.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not an animal anymore. You know what I mean? But I do like to, I do have, it's funny, I have a few beers now and then, but not very often, to be honest. I'm still mostly California sober, I would say.
Well, like, what do they say? Like horseshoes and hand grenades?
Yeah.
Close doesn't count. I'm sorry, Will.
I thought the saying was, don't play with either when you're super stoned.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah,
Both are dangerous in the wrong way.
This is actually an intervention. I'm here with, I don't know if you know Josh Dolan, but...
What's up, Will?
Oh, is Josh there?
Yeah,
Josh. In the room?
Yeah, Josh works here now.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, Josh. What's up? Yeah, me and Josh, man. We were in the trenches together.
We were. All those rogie nights in Brighton.
Oh, my God, rogies. Yeah, that place was like, I think that's where COVID actually really began, was when we were open micers.
Yes.
It was, it was like Poland spring bottle bongs being shared by 65 comedians may have been what actually caused the pandemic.
Yeah, well, that sounds like your apartment, actually.
Which is also, we call it the wet market, so that's a perfect.
That's also the name of his beard fetish videos.
Wow. I got to let people know, none of this will be addressed at Samuel Slaters Restaurant on March 15th. This is OnlyFans content.
It will be.
Well, so you're talking about rogies. What's like the toughest room you've ever done?
Oh my God. I mean, it's like, what's funny about this question is I feel like I get asked it a lot, and every time I answer it, the gods of comedy try and give me a new one. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, you think that was bad? It can always be worse. I was telling a guy last night, some of the toughest gigs that you can do in comedy, and Josh will tell you, it's like the times they don't expect comedy. Sometimes you just get hired by a business or something that thinks it's a great idea to like, all right, so at 9:30, when everyone is at their happiest, we're going to turn off the music, we're going to turn up the lights, we're going to tell everyone who's having a conversation to stop and listen to you. And by the way, they all know each other, and they're not going to laugh at anything uncomfortable. Go ahead, and don't swear.
And don't swear, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's always great.
As you're walking out, it's like as your foot hits the stage. Oh, and don't swear. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's always great when you're doing like a class of 1968 reunion and they stop the Bee Gees music and then they throw you a mic and you got to be like, so I bought a computer recently.
Yeah. Well, you can see, like, you ever, like, you know when you're at a dinner party or a Christmas party or something, and you get like a little excited and you walk up to two people talking that you're friends with, and you start talking and you realize they both look at you like, oh, you just interrupted them, and you're like, oh, sorry, I interrupted. Like my fault, right?
Yes.
Like some of these gigs are like doing that to 200 people all at the same time. Like they all turn and look at you from a conversation like, are you a child? Did you just walk up to me and just start talking? Like, let the adults finish, and then maybe you can tell your little jokes. You know what I mean? And that's when you just think about the check. You know, you're like, I'm gonna buy some sweet Wendy's. I'm gonna buy so many junior bacon cheeseburgers with this check.
Nice. Hey, I don't know if you've seen the video or heard the audio of Nick Swartz and having his show cut off. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have seen it. I was bummed about it.
Yeah, it's hard to watch. It's hard to listen to. I got to ask, has that ever happened to you before you were California sober?
Yeah, you know, I'm lucky. I will say I'm really lucky that all that kind of stuff that happened to me happened in like the earliest days of my comedy where like no one was watching. I had a night in Brooklyn, like literally, this is true, the very first time I ever did 30 minutes on stage in my life, like 30 minutes in a row, I don't remember doing.
Oh, my God.
I was so nervous. I was probably 22 years old. I was so nervous about it that I was doing. I remember the club was in Brooklyn, Greenpoint, Brooklyn, and they had like, you know, a huge shot of whiskey and a PBR for like $3. And I was like, oh, great, I'm nervous. And poor, so this was like a perfect solution to my problem. So I was throwing those back, and I remember walking out on stage and telling my first joke, and that's like the last thing I remember when I woke up the next day in my bed at home. And I called the guy, and I called him. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He's like, no, you weren't that bad. It was a pretty good set, you know, like da 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 da. And I was just like, what?
Wow.
And yeah, so that was and I still think that tape is going to pop up someday somewhere of me just like incoherently babbling 22 years ago. But yeah, luckily I've not had anything like that. But I've seen very similar things happen. It does happen from time to time.
Yeah, Will has seen that happen to me before. That's
Did you get pulled off stage?
No, I should have been a few times.
Oh, okay.
There were times where I've gone on stage and then I get off stage and I've said, so when do I go up? And they're like, you already went up. I'm like, oh no, maybe time to come back.
One of the things I think is like universally true though about like a really drunk comedian going out on stage is that like it's funny because the audience kind of loves it for like 3 minutes. Like at first they're like, oh my God, like this guy's a crazy wild animal. Like I love this, you know what I mean? And then you just watch it sort of get sad over 15, 20, and then you're like, oh my God. But I did one time I worked with a comedian here and he was really drunk and he walked off stage and the opener goes, you know, you told the same joke twice.
Oh.
And the guy looks at him and goes, well, the record's 6.
That's awesome. All right. Well, Will Noonan is going to give you a solid, I don't know. Do you do a solid 30 at Samuel Slaters or is what?
Oh, baby. We're getting a full 45 minutes. They're getting my new stuff. We got the special out now. So, you know, I got pretty much a lot of new material. If you've seen me in the past couple of years, you'll get some new stuff. And, yeah, Dan Bolger's like funniest guy on earth, and Donahue's hilarious. It's gonna be a good time. Come on out.
All right, awesome. And then you got the special out. Where can people see that?
Oh, it's a little, it's a very hard to get Hollywood enterprise called YouTube. You can find me on there. They don't just let anybody on. But you can find it.
After watching the Pinewood Derby videos, yes, they do let anybody on. All right, so YouTube, and then have you got any like other film or commercial projects we can watch out for you in coming up?
I got some interesting things coming up that I'm NDA'd up to my neck that I'm not allowed to talk about. I've got some interesting things coming out in that department. So just if you keep your eyes on my Instagram, I'll start promoting some of that stuff soon. But some cool things are coming.
Nice. All right.
And anytime you get to say it coming.
Yeah. All right. Will Noonan, Friday night, March 15th at Samuel Slaters Restaurant over there at Indian Ranch in Webster. Looking forward to seeing you, Will. Thanks for talking today, man.
Oh, dude, thank you guys so much. And you guys are the best. I hope to see you soon, man.